She was just 20, full of promise, when her life was cut short in a killing so senseless it gripped Abeokuta and stunned the nation. Now, after years of anguish and courtroom delays, justice has finally come. The three young men were lured, murdered, and desecrated Sofiat's body in the name of money ritual have been found guilty. But as the gavel fell, one question remained: can justice ever truly heal a mother's broken heart? Bumi Adigun has been on this story since 2022.
In the heart of Ogun State, a gruesome murder in early 2022 shocked a nation and raised chilling questions about youth, ritualism, and justice. This is the story of Sofiat Okeowo, a young woman whose life was brutally cut short, and the trial that followed. On January 29, 2022, 20-year-old Sofiat Okeowo was invited to a house in Okeowo area of Abeokuta by her boyfriend. She never came out alive.
Ó jẹ́ nǹkan tó bà mí nínú jẹ́ nítorí kì í ṣọmọ ó ní kò ń ṣọmọ burúkú kò ń ṣọmọ lè pàǹlẹ̀ kò kì í jà jẹ́jẹ́ ló máa ń lọ. Kò dẹ̀ sẹ́ni tí ò lè bá ṣeré. Ó jẹ́ ọmọ kan tó ná yáyà.
Ṣé wàá bí ṣe ń lọ fún ọ̀ṣẹ̀?
Wednesday yẹn ó wá bíṣẹ́ bọ̀ Thursday ó wá bíṣẹ́ Friday yẹn kò wá sí bíṣẹ́. Mi mọ̀ tìyẹn tí mo mọ̀ ní Mr. King yẹn ìyẹn ni mo mọ̀ kó wọn àti ẹ̀ ń fẹ́ra tẹ́lẹ̀. Mọ́ọ̀sì wọn ló ń lọ ó lọ kéwú lọ́dọ̀ wọn ni sọdọ́ lè fi fẹ́ra sígbà tó yá náà ni pé wọ́n máa fẹ́ra mọ́ kíkọ́ àti gbá mi dẹ̀ rí wọn àti Mr. King àgbà tí mo dẹ̀ dìde sọ̀rọ̀ tó yà mí lẹ́nu pé ní Mr. King lọ ló ṣe kú pa.
What police uncovered was horrific. Her body had been decapitated and her head was being burned in a pot, allegedly for money ritual purposes. 4 boys were arrested: 18-year-old Soliu, the boyfriend, and 3 others, all under the age of 20.
This can only be described as the superlative degree of callousness. It is despicable and it is barbaric. At this time, this jet age, for somebody to still have it in mind that until they use the life of a human being like them before they can get money. And also, what is it that a 17-year-old boy, a 19-year-old boy, 18-year-old boy, what is it that they want to use money for that will lead them to this type of heinous crime? Is still beyond the comprehension of any normal human being.
The suspects quickly confessed, revealing a chilling pact. They believed human sacrifice could make them rich. It was a plan hatched through online influence and peer pressure.
Ọmọ tí wọ́n ṣe yahoo nísìn ọ̀pọ̀ inú wọn náà ti gbàgbé sí ayé ara wọn jẹ́ níbi ìwàkuwà. Ẹni tí wọ́n ṣẹ́ o ṣòfò èmi mọ̀ bí tí wọ́n ti ń ṣẹ́ o. Ọlọ́run kọ́ la mọ́ wá látọ̀run ni. Oríṣiríṣi àwọn àjò tí wọ́n tán bàbá ẹ̀dẹ̀ kọ́ wá ń gbà yẹn.
Every individual who is a churchgoer spends an average of about 8 hours in a week in church or in their place of worship. The rest of the time they spend at home. Majority of the time they spend at home or in school. So when you look at the ratio, it would be unfair to blame the ills of society on the church. Societal failure is a function of the family failure.
The nation was stunned. How could teenagers plan such a barbaric act? And how deep does the culture of ritualism run?
I am not saying they have done well, but the fact is we have not done well either. When I say we, I mean the parents, members of the community, people in governance. We have not done well.
Across Nigeria, citizens demanded justice. Hashtags trended, vigils were held, and debates erupted over moral decay, parenting, and justice systems gaps.
It is due to the societal crisis that is now becoming norms. You know, there are a lot of agencies that are not doing what their constitutional responsibilities. In this country today, there are a lot of high rate of drug abuses. There is high rate of crimes that are unattended to. And at the same time, people that are engaged in crime, when people see them, that they eventually find their way out of that crime and still come back to the society, they feel that they can always do something and go away with it.
The outcry was loud, and authorities promised swift and fair prosecution. After months in custody, the trial of the 4 boys began.
Here at the Magistrates Court here in Ishabo, Abeokuta, for the arraignment of the 4 boys, 4 young boys who murdered in a cold blood Sofiat Kenyede, who happens to be their loved one. This incident happened last weekend around Okeowo in Abeokuta. The court is not sitting due to 1 or 2 reasons, but just because this is a special case and it requires urgency, they will be attending to them.
At the Ogun State High Court in Abeokuta, the evidence was overwhelming. The confessions detailed the charge, conspiracy, and murder.
They have not given us now, but we have filed a formal application today. But the proper thing to do is for the charge to be taken before that application could be proper. So we filed that application. So I am sure by this time now, the application is on its way into the court's file. So before the next adjourned date, we should then be able to have those documents.
What are those documents?
For example, you want statement of witnesses. It's essential. Asymmetric trial is no longer the order of the day, even in civil proceedings. So I believe the prosecution has nothing to hide. In this kind of matter, what is critical is for the defendants to have a fair hearing. A fair hearing means an opportunity for them to fully participate in the entire process. It's not a situation whereby prosecution will be bringing out documents along the line which we might not have been able to cite before it's being brought to the court. We need the autopsy report, the medical report, all of that, which we are also going to be able to look at and then be able to then defend the defendants. Don't forget, regardless of the gravity of the allegation against them, it is still an allegation. So it has to be proved in open court, and they continue to enjoy what we call presumption of innocence. So without presumption of innocence, that means that the proper thing to do is for the prosecution to treat them fairly and decently.
We have called 3 witnesses out of the 8 witnesses listed on the indictment paper, and by the grace of God, when we meet the next date of adjournment, we will surely go ahead with the other witnesses. At least we have supplied them everything they needed, and that's why we commenced the case this morning.
How soon do you think this?
Well, that is for the judge to decide. It is not in my power to say a particular period, but I know we are moving on a very good lane. Definitely, we are in court, and the court is meant for justice. I believe justice will be done for all the concerned parties.
On July 18, 2025, over 2 years after Sofiat's death, the court delivered its verdict, guilty. The boys were sentenced to death. Justice may have been served, but the wounds remain. For Sofiat's family, a daughter can never be replaced. For the boys, youthful dreams gave way to a lifetime behind bars or walls. This tragic story reminds us all about the value of life, the power of influence, and the urgent need to reconnect our youth with purpose, not burial. Sofiat Okeowo should have had a future. Let our story never be forgotten, and let our death be a turning point for us all.
It is good to know that after years of anguish and courtrooms delay, justice has finally come, and also lessons have been learned. It is now time to serve you weather forecast.